Boone, it looked like the second period is where they came back and got themselves back into the hockey game. Did you guys let off a little bit there, or did they push a little bit harder?
Yeah, I think we liked our first 10 minutes of the second period. Got a goal, they scored one, got another one, playing well, and then we just let them back into it, just with some decisions we made.
It was still anybody's hockey game, though, in the third period. Did you like the way you played the third?
I mean, it's 2-2 going into the third period. We got to have more of a push if we want to win, and they were able to get a late one, and I think we could have had a better push.
How frustrating has it been to you guys do a good job of getting leads, like you're mentioning, but that just not being able to kind of get the kind of momentum that you want, from those kind of goals.
Yeah, it's knowing that next one's a big one. I mean, we've been saying this for a couple of weeks, and we've been stung by letting teams back in it, late goals, whatever it may be. So, we got to learn from it. It's happening time and time again here, and it's on us to key in on those key moments, and when we got the lead, keep playing.
Zach, you guys, I was just asking Boone, you guys get the leads, but just don't seem to be able to kind of get a lot of momentum off those goals. Just, I guess, how frustrating is that, and how do you change something like that?
Yeah, it's tough. It's one of those things, too, where if you have a lead in the second, it's one thing, but especially the games when you have a lead going into the third, you have to find a way to win those. Tonight, obviously, they score pretty quickly after we get the lead. But it's a 2-2 hockey game going into the third period, and I just didn't think we pushed hard enough. And we're in no position to let points like that slip. I just think we had a lot more to give in here, and we didn't give it. And it's frustrating, especially coming off a big win against Boston, having a day off yesterday. The mood was good this morning, and I just kind of thought, we had good moments in the game, but I thought for the most part it just wasn't acceptable to our standards, and it's a frustrating one.
Yeah, we've been talking about it pretty much all season, but another late goal in the third as well. It was tied. Just how important is it to kind of just tighten that up and at least assure yourselves a point when you get down within like 5 minutes?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we've blown leads with under 5 minutes to go to overtime, and in this situation we have to find a way to get to overtime. We can't, Carolina, same thing tonight, get 0 points out of it. Wasn't a great game by any means, but you never know what happens in overtime or shootout. You can get 2 points. And those are the games you have to find a way to get something out of it. And like I said, it's just frustrating tonight.
First 30 minutes of the game, first period, first 10 minutes of the second, I think you guys really were kind of dictating play. What makes it difficult to sustain that for an entire 60?
I mean, it shouldn't be difficult to sustain that for 60. Obviously, teams are going to have, pushback, and there's good hockey players in this league, and they're going to get chances and whatnot. But I just thought when they pushed, we kind of gave a little bit tonight. Just didn't really push back sometimes. They had extended shifts in our zone pretty consistently, and our chances were kind of one and done. We get a chance, and then it's out. And it's hard to win that way. When teams are in your zone for a long time, they're bound to score at some point. And but I mean, we did do some good things. I know I'm frustrated right now, and it's probably sounds a little too negative, but it's just a tough one to swallow.
Zach, you've got some veterans in this room for sure, but there's also a lot of young players. It's a pretty young team on the whole. Is this just growing pains? Letting the leads go, not getting on top of this one, is that just growing pains?
That's tough. Yeah, that's a tough question. I mean, I think it's definitely not the young guys that are, causing us to lose games, right? It's not on them. A lot of it's been, our veterans and guys, older guys on the ice that have kind of been out there for late goals and whatnot, and not finding a way to score and get the lead in a game like this. So it's definitely not on them at all. But I think just as a group, it's finding a way to win. We haven't really done that with this group yet. And that's a collective buy-in in every situation, getting pucks out, getting pucks in, around the blue, in their blue. We haven't done that as a group yet, and that takes time. And fortunately, we don't really have much time right now. It's 20 whatever games into the season, and we're behind the 8 ball. So that's why this is so frustrating, is because we kind of have a good thing going right now with some of these wins, and tonight's one I feel that we have to have. Tonight, Friday, home games, and it's a frustrating one.
Patty, you may have heard Zach's frustration there. How frustrating it is it at home when you kind of have things going your way in the first half of the game and let it slip away?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's been kind of the focus all year, that we got to be able to win these games. Obviously, we haven't done a good enough job with that. And today, it was one of those games we should have had, but we didn't. So we just got to find a way.
How much of it is finding that way? Is just answering a push when you know the other team's going to push, like Montreal did tonight?
Yeah, I mean, they have good players too. I mean, they've kind of had a tough start like we have, and but they got good players, and if they give them time and respect, they're gonna make plays, and they had some good ocean shifts where we had to be in our D zone for extended period of times, and so just got to be able to answer those pushes that the other team has, and just not crumble like we've kind of done this year. So just gotta figure it out.
You scored 4 on 4 tonight. How are you feeling about your game personally?
No, it was awful. Yeah, got that goal, felt pretty good, and then it just basically went all downhill from there. Obviously when you don't play much, you're at least for me, it's hands are not there, pucks are bouncing. But not gonna cry about it. So should have played better as a line. So obviously not happy with it.
Do you feel like you're 100% healthy?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean the last, however many games we played after, the scratch, I think I felt pretty good. Obviously not getting the bounces and not getting the results. That comes with hard work, but obviously got one tonight. But that doesn't make me feel too good after the kind of game I had. But just gotta look yourself in the mirror and figure it out. Tomorrow at practice, and watch some tape and get better on Friday.
Does it feel like the line that you've been on the past couple of games here is got any chemistry yet at all, or you guys just kind of need to be out there a little bit more, or to kind of build it? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't think we've any one of us have played our best, so it's kind of hard to tell when we haven't done a good enough job with our game, but just got to work on it in practice tomorrow, and just try to move on and figure out how to play better and win these games.
Pascal, this didn't feel like some of the other late losses where you kind of traded punches there in the third, but how tough is it to have a team like this to learn as a group to get up and over and to claim these kind of games that kind of hang in the balance?
Yeah, I saw a lot of mental mistakes tonight. Just not as sharp, right? Just not connected. Decent start. Not great. Second period, we had some push there. But overall, we could feel it. The whole game, it wasn't as connected. The intensity. The real fact is, we just played, that's our third game in 4 days, back-to-back against two real heavy teams. We gave everything we had. Montreal played Saturday in LA, 3 days off, and then they're waiting for us here. So that's part of the cohesion. Now, we need to find ways to win games in those moments, or to sustain our style of play somehow. So we need to learn from this one. I'm certainly not happy with the result, but we have to factor in all the details. But we weren't connected. There are a lot of mental mistakes that we don't usually see. We haven't seen in the last 5, 6, 7 games. So I think overall it's disappointing. But I know they wanted to do well, that for sure. It's just that we weren't connected.
Laine scores the goal tonight, but he seemed to struggle with the puck.
Yeah.
Again, and that line maybe wasn't as sharp as it has been, or wasn't. Did you lose confidence in that line as the game went along?
A little bit. They just trying to stretch the play, trying to be ahead of the puck too many times. It cost a goal. So we're going to get that back in practices. We're going to get back to touching the puck and making those plays and finding that confidence back in practices, but it wasn't their best game as a line, for sure.
say, kind of building on that, it felt like you had two lines really going pretty well tonight. What you would call the bottom six, I guess. But those top two were really kind of struggling. So when you're trying to match lines and everything, like how tough is that?
It was difficult.
When you only got half going.
It was. Couldn't find a real good matchup that I really liked. Listen, let's put it this way. When I see Boone Jenner, like making mistakes with the puck or mishandling the puck, I know that the energy level is, if you have a battery full 100%, we were here. He's my indicator. So I know it would be a tough night, but we still, in those nights, you have to rely on your structure and just keep it very simple, not cheating the game, not forcing plays. Just be patient and wait for your opportunities. That's what we need to learn tonight. I know the energy level. I had a feeling that the energy level was low before we started the game. But I think we need to learn from this one and how we're going to stick to our structure. Because, yes, Sillinger's line and Corrali's line, they were good. But it was still not the same feeling it was what we've seen in the past.
Especially early, it looked like Voronkov and Chinnikov just were building on what they did the other night, just with some real chemistry and knowing where one another were on the ice.
Yeah, I thought that line was our best line again tonight. It's same last game against Boston. They were really good. They play a simple way. They support each other. They stay connected defensively and offensively. Chinnikov is a real smart player. So is Voronkov. Sillinger is playing a real good 200-foot game right now. So we're going to keep that line together. I really like the way they played anyway.
Despite the physical challenges, obviously, you did have two leads, and that is a common thing for your team this year, is that you're getting leads, but not really getting a lot of momentum necessarily off those leads. Is that something that you expect? I mean, eventually that should turn around, the more you do it, kind of thing?
Those leads are in the third. But when we lead after two periods, I think we're 5-0 or 4-0, 5-0. We haven't lost a game when we lead after two periods. It's those moments in the third period, you score a goal, the team comes back, so we need to fix that for sure.